Hey, so in today's video we're going to be talking about some Mass Effect and how it incorporates some mythological laws, I guess you could say. So with that, we're going to look at specifically the hero's journey and the archetypes of that story that you would normally find in mythology and how you can incorporate it into Mass Effect. So first, going to be the obvious one is who is the hero of Mass Effect? That would be the player character Commander Shepard. This is a very obvious one, very easy one to understand. This is who's going out, saving the galaxy, doing everything to make sure that they can prevent or stop the extermination of every race in the galaxy by the Reapers. Now the next one is going to be the Shadow. Now the Shadow is normally a force that opposes the the hero, whether through direct action or through agents that they employ. So in this, the Shadows would be the Reapers, or more specifically, Harbinger. So Harbinger doesn't really appear until, the end of the story. But through the first and second game, he does operate through agents. Or he has agents that have agents of their own, which we'll cover later. After the Shadow, we'll go with one that's, you may or may not know, the Trickster. Now, the Trickster in mythological lore is the one that brings humor to the story. He's that comedic relief. Now, for Mass Effect, that would be Joker. Because anytime you interact with Joker after a mission or whatever, he provides a humorous kind of insight to the story. So for example, in Mass Effect 2, when you talk to him about who you went out with, or the squad, he'll talk about who you went out with last. So for example, if you bring Garrus out, he'll sit there and say, it's nice to see Garrus got that stick out of his ass, but he's just beating people to death without. So he's really that comedic relief. After that, we would have, say, the Shapeshifter. Now, this doesn't mean this is someone that changes their shape or anything like that. It could be, though. But for Mass Effect, they're not changing their shape. In Mass Effect, you really have two Shapeshifters. One in the first, and then the other one is in the second and third one. Now, for example, the first one, the Shapeshifter in the first game would be Saren. This is a guy who is a Spectre and everything else. But he was working for an agent of Harbinger. So, in reality, he wasn't a good guy. He was a bad guy. And I'll pause if you hear my pin clicking. Now, in the second one, the second Shapeshifter in Mass Effect would be the Elusive Man. So in the second one, he's kind of like your ally, so you think. But in reality, he still has his own ultimate agenda that he wants to pursue. And he really becomes that shapeshifter in the third one. Because he has gone from being an ally to help you saving humans to being an antagonistic character. Him and his organizations try and stand in your way throughout the end of the story. And he kind of ultimately ends up falling under the control of Harbinger, thus fulfilling that shapeshifter role in the middle and the end of the story. Now, when we look at mentors, a mentor in the mythological story in our hero's journey is normally one that provides guidance or help with moral standing to the hero. Now, the mentor, there are two mentors. You can say there's two mentors in Mass Effect. The first one being the obvious, Captain Anderson. Captain Anderson is a man of the Alliance, but he has also been a mentor and, to a degree, you could say a father figure to Shepard. Now, he does help Shepard out throughout the story, whether it be providing insights or, for example, stepping down as captain of the Normandy so Shepard could take it and stop Saren in the first game. Providing an ally in the second game that, still helps him out, still offers advice, and gives him updates on, some crew members. And the third one, he is also that mentor. He's that mentor that's like, he understands that I have to get Shepard to go unite the galaxy to bring him back to Earth in order to defeat the Reapers. And he really makes that clear. The second mentor, that you could say, would be the Protheans. Now, they're a long dead race wiped out by the Reapers 50,000 years prior to the story. The reason you say that they're mentors is because throughout the story, they kind of give warnings or trying to of the Reapers and what happened to them, and they try to help guide the denizens of the galaxy to stop the Reapers or prevent them from coming back, or how to maybe beat them. Who knows? But that's their guidance. Now, the last one is going to be the ally. The ally is it's implied in the name. These are people, or a group of people that help the hero throughout the story. So the ally in this case would be the crew of the Normandy. These are people, men, women, aliens, whatever, that put their trust and faith in Commander Shepard. They are a group of people that help him fight, provide some insight on what they should do, but they ultimately end up being, people that become close to Shepard. People that Shepard views more than just, allies, but friends, lovers, depending on what you do. But yeah, so those are the major archetypes that we're going to cover in this video in terms of, Mass Effect and the hero's journey and the archetypes you would see in these stories. Now, probably in another video, we'll talk about more, say, lore of Mass Effect. The galaxy of it, some of the races, and we'll go a little bit more in depth into what at least I know and what I've found out myself. But with that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see, I hope to be posting more videos in the coming months. So let's continue to learn and find out more interesting things in different universes.